Let's end our lazy girl era. It's time to be productive. It's time to really start showing up for yourself, your goals, and all that you want in life to become the person that you want to be and bloom every single day. Now, a lot of people don't share how to actually be productive and get out of that lazy girl era. So I'm here to share 14 habits, tricks, and ways that you can really start showing up for yourself, being productive, and manage your time better, achieve your goals, and just make your dreams a reality. So if you've never been here before, my name is Bridget and welcome to Balance While Blooming. Thank you for coming back. If you've been here before, I share all the ways to balance the areas of your life, take control of your life, and bloom into the person that you want to become. That's your best self, your future self, the person you want to be, achieving your goals, achieving your dreams, and really putting yourself in a situation in life that you are ready to level up. So let's share all the ways to get out of your lazy girl era and into your productive era where you are showing up for yourself, balancing your life, and taking control of what you want to do and how you're going to get there. Now, there are going to be times where you feel tired, you want to give up, but change is possible. You never know what's going to happen if you quit on yourself. So being productive is a learned skill. You can start today, take these tips, take these habits, and figure out what's going to work for you, because it is something that happens over time. Not everybody knows how to be disciplined. Not everybody knows how to always take action, but it's the way you show up and how you take control of your life that is going to have you bloom into the person you want to be, balance all the things that you want in life, and so much more. So let's jump right in. First one is automate your tasks. There are so many tasks that we do on repeat. These can be routines, systems, so many things. And the way you need to do this is create the simplicity of what you need to take control over, what you can delegate, and what you can automate to not only save time, but simplify your life than always thinking about what is already on your system or pattern, where when your brain knows that it's on autopilot, either you already do it or it's part of a system, you can focus on things that matter. Your brain can only hold so much information. So the more that you automate and put into systems that are more automatic for you, the less you need to focus on the little things. So you can get your meals shipped to you. You can automate your groceries, you can auto pay your bills, and then also AI tools to not only have your meetings scheduled, your calendar, along with your scheduling overall can be really automated. So really learn and dive into what things you feel comfortable automating and really taking action to automate as much as possible, or I call routines and systems pretty much automated after 21 or 90 days. So really start setting systems and routines together, take action for about 30 to 90 days, and those will be automatic for you, that you don't have to think about what's next in my routine, what is next for me to show up. Next one is habit stacking. Put like-minded tasks together. Of course, I'm going to be talking about a morning section, but I also want you to do this for every area of your life. Habit stack things that are like-minded. For me, I like to put things that are positive, productive, and healthy sort of together in the morning. So in the morning, I do my gratefuls while I drink my water or just first sitting at my desk. Then I plan out my day on the treadmill. So when I'm at the gym, I do my top threes. I think about what I need to do for the day, kind of get my to-do list together. So not only am I doing something that I already want to do, so I'm going to the gym or I'm just drinking my water, and then I'm doing something that is positive and healthy for either my mind or my body at the same time. And this can keep you motivated because you are doing something that you want to do with something that you need to do, and putting those together and automating those in a way of like, okay, when I do this, I automatically do this. You're less likely to scroll. You're less likely to gravitate towards your phone or negativity. So start habit stacking. Another great thing is really get clear on what makes you procrastinate. What triggers your procrastination? What type of activities, what type of actions are you taking? And figure it out and try to catch it before it comes. So it really is figuring out that trigger and effect. So when you get triggered, you are choosing to procrastinate. Figure out what type of tasks you are doing and how do you procrastinate. Like, what are the activities that you procrastinate by doing? A lot of people, it's scrolling or it's avoidance. And when you start catching those, be like, what am I supposed to be doing right now that I'm choosing to do this procrastinating activity instead of what I'm supposed to be doing to stay productive and show up for myself, for the person I want to be? And what are you procrastinating on? So what are the most common tasks that you put off? What type of tasks are leading you to those triggers? And how can you change that? How can you procrastinate less? What can you do to make it more exciting, right? What can you change about those tasks to make it more fulfilling for yourself, more exciting, or making you want to procrastinate less? That's a really hard one, but as you start catching yourself, you're gonna be like, okay, this is what this. How to deal with tasks that you don't enjoy. So this is what I was just talking about. You can't enjoy it all, but make it so that the things that you don't enjoy have a positive impact. Now, how can you make it simpler? How can you make it more enjoyable? Can you schedule it in with something else? Can you create it around a routine? Can you change your environment? Really figure out when you don't enjoy something, how to make it more enjoyable or simplify it, where scheduling them in when you have a really good day. So, hey, if I get these done, I guess you go do everything else, or create it into a routine by habit stacking, or just change your environment. Go to a coffee shop, go to the library, go somewhere that is a different environment that will help you do it. This next one I love. If you haven't heard of Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, I really recommend you reading her book or listening to the podcast on it. And it is when you don't want to do something, but you know you need to do it. And you're like, just 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. No, 5 seconds, count down, then go and do the action. It's very simple and it's very effective. So you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you hit 1, you are going to take the first step towards that action. Really simple, really creative, but it will trigger your mind like, okay, this is a countdown. This is necessary. This is now. Let's go. How can this be easier? Really, with your bigger tasks, we are overthinking. We are making it harder than it needs to be. When you feel stressed or overwhelmed about a hard task, I want you to journal and brain dump everything about it and figure out how you can simplify it, how you can change it up, and how to really trial and error what will work for you to make it easier. Because not everything is as complicated as you see. Of course, you're always going to be a beginner. Of course, you're always going to be learning. Of course, you're always going to be growing. But how can you make it easier on yourself to not only show up, but stay productive and also realistically take that action when you need to? And of course, you can read books about it. You can go on YouTube, figure out how to be more productive, just like videos like this, but also figure out those tasks, how you can simplify them, how you can make it easier for yourself, and really the different ways to execute your goals and your dreams and the actions you need to take by trial and error. This next one I'm going to do a bit more of. I started doing this about a week or two ago and I thought it was very effective, and it's valuing your tasks. Is it important or is it not important? So if it is important, what will the outcome be? Negative, not bad, good, or better than expected when I do it? If it is better than expected, or I'm going to be happy, or this is going to make me super productive, it is very important. Now, if it's not important, it's going to be a negative, not great, or not bad outcome, right? So if it's important, if you take the action, let's say, okay, Bridget, you are about to film this video right now. What is the outcome of when you film this outcome? It's going to be good or better than expected because I've showed up for myself, I've taken the action, and I've decided to do it. Now, what if I'm like, okay, instead of recording, I'm going to scroll on my phone? Is that effective? Is that important right now? What is the outcome unfortunately, it's going to be negative. I wasted the time that I'm scrolling when I could have been recording. So as you start valuing your tasks as important or not important, and really figuring out what needs to be done by you and what can be done by other sources where you can source it out, find someone else to do it, but the value of the task that you need to do and what is important to you and what needs to be done is what you should be taking action on first and be the most productive on and disciplined to show up. Now, the next section are all going to be about time management. I want you to take these as different ways you can time manage and figure out which technique work for you, or take them all. I've done all of these before. I have trialed and errored a few of these. Some work great for me, some aren't great, but if I'm having a really off day, I will try them again just to kind of get back into the system of getting productive. And when you are being lazy, does not mean that you are not productive. It just means you're not using your time efficiently, or you are procrastinating, or so much more. So when we talk about time management, really take these with what way will work for you and what techniques are going to help you be the most efficient for who you want to be. If you want, try them all. If you only think a few will align with you, that's fine. That's how all these tips and habits are supposed to be. It's just showing you ways how to be more productive and start showing up for yourself. Figure out the time of your tasks. How long does it take you to do something? How long until you get distracted or procrastinate on it? And what time of day are you getting most distracted, and what type of tasks are getting you the most distracted? Because when you are figuring out what time it takes, things that are quickly done, just do it and get it over with. Things that you need to actually plan and schedule time for, those need to be different. And why is it taking you as long? Or tasks that should take 5 minutes, why is it taking you 20 minutes? Really figuring out what type of tasks you're wasting your most time on and how you can really get less distracted or be more focused on your tasks by really tracking yourself throughout the day. Okay, this took me this much amount of time, this much took me this amount of time. And it also lets you know where you're wasting your time during your day. Do it for a week, really figuring out the ways to cut time, because time is so precious. The next one, focus tasks versus light tasks. Focus tasks are things that you need to put your whole brain into, and light tasks are things that you can do almost on autopilot. But the things that are focused, you do not want a whole day of focused tasks. You will be upset, you will want to go into your lazy girl era, you will burn out, you will get so drained, stressed, and so much more. So yes, as much as you want to habit stack and you want to put like-minded tasks together, do not overflow yourself with focused tasks. You want to have a balance of what comes easily, what needs some time and focus, and really flow that throughout the day back and forth. Really set the time for when you need focused tasks and when you can have light-minded tasks, and schedule in the focused tasks into your calendar, but also trickle in a few light tasks to remind yourself of, okay, I need this balance. I need this time to take a break. Even if it's 20 minutes after you did an hour-long task, whatever it is, to make sure that you are not piling up your focused tasks where you will decide to give up or go back into that lazy girl era and really quit on yourself. Figure out that balance for you and take that into the next step. Now, deadlines. Our brain love end goals. They love deadlines. They love milestones. They love to see what the next goal is. So move up your deadline. Create urgency. We thrive in challenges, races. You don't even have to be a competitive person, but knowing that you have to get something done by this date will help your brain not only stay on task, but figure out the to-do list and what you need to do every single day to get it done. Don't rush your task, but put pressure on yourself to get ahead. The more you get yourself ahead, the more productive you're going to feel. You're going to feel more accomplished, and you are going to be proud of yourself for accomplishing it before the actual day. Really try it. Try your deadlines, figure out what type of urgency works for you and how you can kind of push yourself and reward yourself once you are ahead. Going back to taking breaks, you need to plan your breaks. Don't overschedule or overplan, but don't underplan either. Figuring out those breaks, take the time for self-care and rest. Those should be rewarded. So getting back into productivity is those breaks are going to be intentional now. When you are getting out of your lazy girl era, what are you doing in those planned breaks that are rewarding yourself? But what I'm going to tell you is that productivity is one thing, but also working yourself to the core is another. But finding that balance is something that you need to learn, but also don't only focus on breaks because that's where you got into your lazy girl era. So take this with a grain of salt. Figure out how much break you actually need. Figuring out where that balance is, where it's essential to get a break, but it's not necessary, where you could keep going. Because if you overgive yourself breaks, then you will get back into your lazy girl era. So be careful with scheduling your breaks and scheduling your work, and make sure that the action you need to take is a little bit more than the breaks, so you don't lose sight of being productive. And really use your breaks as rewards, as time for yourself, replenish, refresh, where it's not a long era where you have hours, days, weeks where you are not showing up for yourself. The way you can do this is pre-plan your days, either weekly or daily schedule. And you can do it daily the night before. I do it first thing in the morning. You can also have a weekly schedule where you plan out your week, and then daily you can do your top 3. That's kind of how I do it too. And this gets you ahead, and you know what you're walking into, and you already have a direction for your day. We love as humans to know what we're doing next. What is the next thing we're chasing for? So how do you directly start your day or get into that momentum from the minute you wake up? What is your routine? How are you going to take the action, and how are you going to show up for yourself? Having the right plan and knowing how to plan is honestly the one thing that I think a lot of people lose sight of, is not pre-planning and not knowing what is next for them every single day. Now, with that being said, you need to ask yourself, what is the best use of my time right now? Think about what is next and what small tasks can I do? Because as much as we plan the big things in our life, there are so many little things where we could be productive and you can still show up for yourself. Look at your emails, do that caption. Where in the spare nook and crannies can you still be productive on things that you want to do? Where can you fit in your hobbies? Where can you put in those few extra minutes for yourself? And this is really something that I'm starting to put into. When I have a few extra minutes, I'm doing something for Balance While Blooming, or I'm doing something for myself, or I'm making sure that I have my next plan done, or that I am not just sitting around scrolling anymore when I'm sitting at the grocery store line, or that I'm waiting at an appointment, or I'm sitting in my car waiting for someone, right? I'm always taking what the next action is and really figuring out what can I do with my time right now. So when you feel like you have a little bit of extra time, really ask yourself, what is the best use of this time right now? What could I be doing right now that will help me be productive, make me feel more successful, or get me ahead? And all of these things should be in a planning system. You need to figure out what is effective for you, what works for you, and keep it simple for your life and your lifestyle. This can be on your phone, this can be a to-do list, this can be a planner. Figure out what works for you. I am a paper gal, but I also love using my phone. What will work for you and how you use it daily is what is important. Figuring out your planning system, where you can put those little tasks, where you can put the things that you can do in your free time. All of these things where you look at it daily, weekly, and monthly to stay on top of yourself, your life, and your productivity is so important. So figure out the planning system that works for you, your family, and yourself. Now, all this being said, you do not need to use all of these. Figure out what time management skills and habits and tasks will work for you. These are all just me sharing ways that I have over the year trialed and errored productivity hacks kept me productive and really got me out of those slumps without being a slump. When I felt myself getting lazy, when I got myself into a trap of not showing up for myself, using a few of these to figure out what worked for you and what doesn't is really important. With the tasks, these tricks, these tips, they're all small but will help motivate you. And remember, productivity starts with the motivation and then goes to discipline. When you are like, okay, I started this, now I need to finish it. So really figuring out how to start the motivation, but also have systems in place for that discipline, because that resistance of motivation and you wanting to quit will happen very quickly. Motivation is a snap of a finger. It is instant. You want to do something, but then what happens when you want to stop showing up for yourself? You need to have these tasks, these tricks, these tips to help you when that resistance starts showing up, and you no longer need to wait for taking action. You no longer need to procrastinate. Start planning, executing, and taking that action today by having the tips, tricks, and skills to show up for yourself. So figure out the systems before you fall and how to stay out of a slump. Like, keep working on your dreams and live the life that you want to live. Join this community as we are always helping you uplift and show up for yourself, balance your wants and your needs, doing those hobbies, doing the things that you want to do in life while blooming into the person that you want to become, one step at a time. I'm not only over here, but also over on Instagram. So check me out, follow me over there, and I cannot wait to see how these tips and tricks will help you, these habits that you start creating into your life. Let me know in the comments which ones you are going to try, which ones you've tried before, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.